Hello again, and we are so thrilled that you sat in and watched the piece called Still by our own playwright in residence, Vicki Williams. We're going to be talking more about Vicki and her work shortly, but in the meantime, I want to share some moments with you with the Rainey Staff. And let me introduce them. To my far right is Lauren Persons. In the middle of the two roses, the executive director, Lee Lazar, who is our host and sponsor here at the Rainey Institute, and of course, Beverly Brown, whose married name I always forget. Fitch. Okay. And we're going to be talking about some of the great events that are coming up here at Rainey, one of the oldest youth cultural arts and education programs in wherever, especially Cleveland. So anyway, who's going to start talking about? Lee, is it going to be you who's going to start talking about some of the upcoming activities here at Rainey, and especially why we're sitting on the porch of the set of the play you're going to do?
Sure, certainly. One of the things that we've wanted to do at Rainey Institute is to capture the story that tells the 110 years that Rainey has been in existence and serving the Cleveland neighborhoods. So we talked about doing a book, writing a story, and then we finally realized that since we're an arts organization, we should tell the Rainey Institute in an arts sort of way. So we were connected to Laura Persons, and we told Laura that somehow we want to try to capture and present the 110 years of Rainey Institute in a play. And we asked Lauren if she could help us do that. And Lauren was very excited to help us and get involved with the project. And
Lauren,
that's what it is.
Lauren is the playwright and the director, is that correct?
That's
What's
correct.
the title of the play exactly?
These walls don't talk.
Uh-oh, almost sounds like a soap opera title.
It does, yeah. There are
So
some
tell
good
us
soap
a little
stories.
bit. Lee said they got you involved. Tell us a little bit about your being a playwright director and how you became connected to Rainey.
I have always, since I was in third grade, I cast myself as Sleeping Beauty. So I've always been dramatic. They called me Sarah Bernhardt. I don't think it was a good moniker. I think it was rather derogatory. I've always been a drama queen, and so we'll come up, fast forward, I had worked on a play it was a oral history play, which is very exciting. That's where people tell their own stories. And after that happened and we presented it here, one of the board members thought it would be a great idea, and with, of course, Lee saying that this would be a great idea to bring this story to life. And I was thrilled. I was so excited, how great. And then it hit me, like, how do I make 110 years of history come to life? What do I do now? I took a long, long walk at the park in October and just started to bring it to life. Then I decided that the only way to do it is to have the story, the building, have Rainey, the actual building, tell the story. And she does. And she's magnificent. She's worth coming just to see her. And then I had only walked in Rainey a few times, but the thing about Rainey, you walk in, you don't want to leave.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And so they had me hooked already, and I started to, every Wednesday, every Saturday, I would walk in and I would interview people that I thought whose stories really stood out, or I would just observe classes. And what I realized, and that's why the title came to me, that when I would walk into this building, the building felt like it was shaking. There was so much activity. It was like, it didn't just, it breathed, it kind of whirred, there was always tapping, there was something going on.
Always going on,
It was,
yes.
but but there was a cacophony of sound, but it was all directed toward the arts, and it was so exciting. I thought, oh my gosh, why wasn't I didn't have a Rainey. This is not fair. I was really felt bad about that. So that's where the story starts, and the cast that I have, it is so authentic.
And how many are in the cast?
Right now?
Approximately,
or
yes.
in 3 weeks?
In 3 weeks. Because that's when the play is performed,
yes,
right?
Yes, it is, in 3 weeks. Give me those dates. March 21st.
March 21st, Friday night at 5:30 p.m. Saturday, March 22nd at 7 p.m.
Right.
Okay.
We welcome everyone who has either connected to Rainey in some way over the years, or those people that have not yet connected with Rainey.
The object is to introduce Rainey and to enhance the story of Rainey throughout the greater Cleveland community. How many actors do you have approximately scheduled?
Because it's a real diverse cast with kids also, so I would say there's probably 25 when all is said and done.
You're wrangling 25 folks. That's a pretty good sized cast.
Yeah, it is.
How long have you settled on the running time of the play yet?
No, I'm saying it's an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
The reason why it's in flux is that we have dancers working on a dance. We have another piece that's going to, a piano piece that's going to be inserted into it. We're using the talent of the people at Rainey. So every time I find somebody that can offer something to add to the show and showcase them, I add it. So right now, I'd say it's an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay, well, this is part of the rehearsal process, and anybody involved in the performing arts knows that it takes weeks to get all the individual pieces into a cohesive ensemble and performance. But in any event, we'll be looking forward for the community come in and see this wonderful play, If These Walls Could Talk, speaking on Rainey's history. And for information or to order tickets, please call.
People can call Rainey at 216-881-1766. There's no cost for tickets.
Okay, so these are complimentary tickets?
Free complimentary tickets.
Okay.
We invite everyone to come learn a little bit more about the 110-year history of Rainey Institute.
And that is to be in performance production classes. 110 years is just more than a minute. And to sustain an performing arts and cultural institution that long is a major, major accomplishment. And during this same edition of Wake Up and Live with the Arts, speaking of another cultural institution, we're going to meet Gail Powell from Karamu, who will be celebrating its 100th year in operation starting next year. So there's a lot of Cleveland history, a lot of Cleveland arts and culture going on, and we want the world to know about it. So we've got a play going on in 3 weeks about If These Walls Could Talk, and then Miss Beverly Brown, who is in charge of all the programming that goes on here. What's up?
Well, we have a Black History program that'll be happening. We're collaborating with, in the community with the church across the street, Fellowship Baptist Church. And the Black History program will be on February 28th and March 1st. On February 28th, it'll be at the church at 7 p.m. And on the 1st of March, it'll be here at Rainey at 1 p.m. And it is a living wax museum. So each individual person, about 20 to 30 individuals, depending on which day you come, will be a different Black History character. And they'll be dressed as the character, and they'll tell stories of the character and do things to honor the character.
Can you tease us a little bit with a couple of the characters that will be portrayed?
Well, you have some that you just cannot be without. So you have Martin Luther King, Mahalia Jackson. Then you have some that are not so
well known.
Maybe well known, but like Ben Carson.
Oh, the doctor.
Yes.
Oh, his story is fabulous. And he's a modern example. He's a contemporary. Oh, you ought to invite him to stop by.
Wouldn't that have been wonderful?
Ben Carson, if you're watching this in Baltimore or Connecticut or wherever you are, come see the play.
Yes.
Okay, so it too is free to the public.
It is free to the public.
And it starts on February 28th. It's performed at Fellowship Baptist Church across, do you happen to know the address of across the street?
I do not.
Is it right on the corner of Payne and East 55th?
Our address is 1705 East
Okay.
55th, and it is directly across the street. You cannot miss it. Nice,
Okay.
nice church.
Sounds good. And then when you come to Rainey, that will be on March 1st.
Right.
And that'll be at 3 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock p.m.
Is that a Saturday or Sunday?
It is a Saturday.
Okay, that's a Saturday. So there'll be lots going on. As you can see, Rainey Institution just has a whole lot going on all the time. And let's do just a quick reminder. Last edition we had Yolanda Walker and Brittany Kubiak talking about upcoming programs at Rainey. Summer camp, for example. Registration's going on now. So again, call 216-881-1766 to get information about summer camp for the kids. And also El Sistema, the music program that is very well known here at Rainey. So you shouldn't complain about there's nothing for kids to do, adults to do, because Rainey Institute has it all. Be sure to come join us. And thanks to Lee and all the staff at Rainey for hosting and sponsoring our Wake Up and Live with the Arts. Stay tuned.